every single day that you just wouldn't go a day without?
I love food. COVID, I'm not gonna lie, I turned into one little chef.
The gym.
Oh man, my trainer's gonna kill me.
I'd probably say food as well. Actually, no, can I change it? Money. Money. It makes me very happy.
Okay.
Money,
Yes.
yeah. Makes me very,
It's not a
it makes me
myth.
very happy.
It's not, she said no food, money please.
Now I feel
Money, she can buy the food.
There you
Yeah.
go. And the car.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, if I didn't have money or food, I need money.
There's me trying to be humble about it as well.
I can't believe I said phone now. I want to retract that one.
Hello, hi, and welcome to the BYAW Women podcast, brought to you by Mixtape Madness, where we speak to women of all roles that have a part to play in the music industry. Our mission is to uncover the realities of being a woman in this industry, as well as being a resource to the many that would love to pursue a music-related career. My name is Kellis, the creator and host of this show. I'm a presenter, a producer, and a DJ, and it is an absolute pleasure to introduce all of these guests to you and to speak to them about their experiences and everything. So without further ado, I have my co-host here, who is an amazing creative, and her name is
Roshan.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that warm intro.
That is absolutely fine. I love
Pick up
your
everyone.
shoes.
They're all right, isn't it?
They're
Not
doing
Jordan 4s
a
or
lot.
Jordan 1s. I mean, I have no Rolex yet, but soon come.
It's coming. It's loading. So please, Russian, tell them about yourself.
Okay, where do I start? So I go by the name of Russian. I'm an artist manager to Alakai Hotshot Harley. You're going to cuss me if I don't do the hot shot. I also look after partnerships for an agency called Warm Street. So I look after partnerships for Ray and Nephew UK, Magnum, doing some stuff for Netflix. There's some other stuff, you know. I go on like...
You left that one out there.
You know, but it's just that's the big one, isn't it? That's the Netflix.
Okay. The big dogs, big league.
I mean, little one, but we get there. We're getting there.
Okay. It's amazing to have you on. Like, I'm really honoured to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me.
That's okay. It's amazing. And as well as Russian, as my co-host, we have Marissa.
Hello.
And Marissa is a manager.
Yeah.
You worked with loads and loads of people. Please tell them about yourself.
I'm Marissa. I'm an artist manager and I'm also an A&R. I work in publishing A&R, so I look after songwriters, producers and artists, but basically just the whole songwriting and creation process of the music. I manage a few developing artists. Prior to being a manager, I was an A&R at a label, so I was on the record side, but now I've kind of ventured over into just management and publishing.
Amazing. And how are you finding it? Do you enjoy it?
I love my job. I'm so blessed. I love it. Like, I sit there and I'm listening to music all day. I'm like, this is my job. Like, I love it. Like, yeah, I'm blessed.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that.
And thank you for having me.
No, you're absolutely welcome. As well as Marissa, we have Shenice.
Hey.
Please tell them about yourself.
Hi everyone, Shenice. Most people call me Shen. Artist Relations Manager at YouTube, and I kind of work with Black artists and culture at YouTube. I've been there for 4 years now, which seems like it's gone so far. I know, right?
Proper, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's gone quick.
I've been there for 4 years. I was at Columbia before, Columbia Records at Sony, marketing assistant, and then got headhunted to go over YouTube in 2019.
We love that, the headhunt, you know.
Just put that in there. Just put that in there.
How are you finding it? Do you enjoy it as well?
I love it. It's so nice to be able to work with so many different artists, from developing artists, established, kind of helping them like demystify YouTube. I think that's one big thing, especially with Black artists. Like, monetization is such a big thing for us at the moment as well.
Absolutely.
Knowing that you can make money on YouTube and kind of have that as your point of like having all your music. So I think it's super exciting. I love it so much.
Absolutely. Amazing. I was so happy to hear, honestly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Last but not least, we have Sairah.
Hi.
She is a manager to her little sister, Leanne, of course, from Little Mix. Not a little name at all, but please tell them about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Sairah. I am Leanne's manager. She's my little sister, as you said. Been doing this now for coming up 3 years, but let's include COVID in that. So it doesn't actually feel like it's been that long.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, and I also am the co-founder of the Black Fund, which we founded together, which is our charity.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
It's so cool that like you've moved into like the charity space. Like, how has that been for you?
To be honest, I did a lot of charity work when I was at university because I did a community arts degree, and a lot of what we had to do was like go into the community and like work with community groups. So I kind of had experience in that sector anyway, probably more so than the music side, if I'm honest. Like when we were actually talking about doing the charity, that was more like, okay, I know what to do here. Like I've done this, I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely, 100%.
So yeah, I feel like that part of my job is almost like, it's almost like the healing process. Like you just meet people that are just all different types of people. There's no egos, like people that are almost like, you know, dealing with different situations or issues, and you can go and help them in certain things. And it's a completely different side to like the reality of being in the industry and egos and, you know, like...
It's like the heart and soul.
It's very humbling. Like when you come out of a day doing something to the Black Fund, it just feels like a release. It's like, oh, even though your week was crap or stressful, or like everyone wants you to reply to an email like yesterday, that side of things, it's like it's like you can go back and just be like, oh, I needed that day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Okay, so now that we know your professions, I'd like to know a little bit, and you too. I'd like to know a little bit more like about, you know, you personally. So we're going to play a little game as well.
I like games.
I like games.
It's a pretty simple game. It's 5 things you can't live without. Every single day that you just wouldn't go a day without. Okay. I'll ask you first. First thing that comes to your head as well, unless you really want to think about it, then please, by all means.
These guys get more time than me. They can stay on brand if they want to.
You don't get time.
All right, cool. I think one is definitely music. Definitely my friends and family. They help to keep me like humble, down to earth. I'd say plane tickets. I like to travel a lot. Passport.
Absolutely.
No, I'm trying to. How's that? 3.
That's
I've
2.
got 2 more.
I mean, family and friends, that could be 1 each.
Thank you.
I got you.
What's that? 1 more.
Listen, don't help her.
Do you know
That's
what?
1 more. That's
I'm
one
a
more.
proper foodie. I love food. Like all different cultures, like Vietnamese food, like Caribbean food, whatever it is. I love food.
Like a going out situation, like a fancy or like a street
Listen,
food.
when I'm at home, in COVID, I'm not going to lie, I turned into one little chef.
Okay.
You're going to see me chefing at home. You know, I like to eat
that.
little gourmet style little meals, and I'd like to like the presentation side and all of that. So
Dress
yeah,
up
I think
nice.
food, family, passport, music. Yeah, I feel like
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
sure.
agree with all of those things. Marissa, same question.
I'm going to go with water.
Okay.
I drink so much water.
Good. That's why your
As soon
skin's
as
so
I wake
clear.
up, down water. I've down half a litre of water. Secondly, I'm going to have to go for music. Couldn't live without it.
Are you a Spotify or
I'm a
Apple Music girl?
Spotify.
Okay.
What about you girls?
Maybe use YouTube.
Spotify.
Of course I use YouTube. Come on, plugging that in there. Wait, how many have I said?
2.
2. The gym.
oh man, my trainer's going to kill me.
The gym, my family, and my friends. Is that 1? I count that as 1. And then I'm going to be really rogue and say my phone.
Okay.
Really?
I do everything on my phone, my work, my friends, because that's how I communicate with my friends and family,
enough,
so I
fair
need my
enough.
phone.
True. Shenice, same question.
Actually, no, I can't even do that.
Got another one.
Yeah, don't worry.
What I can't live without.
Absolutely. 5 things you can't live without.
God is number 1. God is number 1. Exercise. If you know me, I love exercising. Definitely say music. Food, because I'm always outside eating.
Absolutely.
And then the last one would probably be like my relationships with family and friends and even colleagues, because work can be tough sometimes. So I'll say those are the...
It's mad how much time you spend with your colleagues.
You spend more time at work than you do at home.
Honestly.
It's crazy.
Honestly. It's like its own little like planet.
I love the people I work with. I'm so needy. I'm like, guys, I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you in the office.
Sairah, same question.
Right, I'm going to say, first off, my children,
Absolutely.
my 2 little boys. Secondly, my parents. I wouldn't be who I am without them. Then my car. I need my car every day. I'm always in my car. Anyone that knows me, I do my Zooms in my car. I do my calls in the car. That's like the easiest.
It's the office.
Yeah, literally. That's like my office, literally. And my home. my home is like my peace, my sanctuary where I go, I reset, like cut off from the world. It's a very important place. And I'd probably say food as well. Actually, no, can I change it? Money.
Change it.
Money. Money. It makes me very happy.
Okay.
Money,
Yes.
It makes me very
It's
happy.
not a
It makes me
myth.
very happy.
It's not, she said no food,
Yeah.
money, please.
Now I
Money.
Money, she can buy the food.
There you
Yeah.
go. And the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, if I didn't have money or food, I need money.
There's me trying to be humble about it
Yeah.
as well.
I can't believe I said phone now. I want to retract that one.
Oh, so that, yeah, I completely agree with all of you. So when you said music, you use YouTube music.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
It's actually, do you know what?
I don't
No,
think
we're
she's
not plugged.
capping either.
It's actually,
I don't either.
do you know why it's good? Because it actually takes everything that you watch on YouTube, when you listen to it on YouTube Music, it actually makes you really good playlists and stuff.
Okay.
So it's just easy.
It makes
And then I
sense.
can still do work and be like, okay, I know what this artist
Can
is. I know.
you can you watch things on there?
Yeah, you can swap into the video, which is great. So
I mean, there you
I
go.
need to explore.
do it. No, but it's actually really good. I'm not
What are
even just
you, an
saying.
Apple-
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
a Spotify girl?
I am a Spotify. Big up Joel. I am a Spotify.
Joel from Spotify.
Done
Joel,
already.
I know where you are.
So are you Apple Music or Spotify?
Spotify.
See, I'm not hearing any titles. I'm not hearing no titles.
Tidal even a thing?
Yeah, I
Of
don't.
course.
Hello? No, do you know what it is? I like the interface of Spotify. I'm so used to it. And I like how, like the Who We Be playlist, like how they're all laid
Yeah.
out. Like, I just find it easier to navigate.
100%. Plus,
That's
like
just
the
my personal-
radios, if you like one song,
Yeah.
you go into the radio, you find all the other ones.
Audio books on there as well. Just-
I
You know
actually
what, this is a
used
big
to
plug.
use Tidal when it first came out.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Really?
I was almost
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
expecting some of you to say that because it's
I
just...
used to.
Yeah.
Apparently, the sound quality is really good. on
Really
Tidal.
good. But the library wasn't as big. Like Spotify has the biggest
Yeah,
library.
yeah, of course, yeah. I think it's just because, like, you know, like the return on like the streams and stuff for the artists is just way, 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 way better. But yeah, that's really cool, like to know, like as well, because Spotify is just amazing. So I would like to know how you all like first started, like your first introduction to developing yourself into this creative industry. So Marissa, like what was your very first introduction to music and to this job that you are now in? Or role, should I say?
My first, I'm just trying to think. I did internship at Music Week for like 2 weeks. That was like my first introduction, but my first like job was an internship whilst I was at uni, and I was working Monday to Friday at Psycho Sony. Yeah, I was dropping coffees to Little Mix actually in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was, yeah, that was like right at the beginning. I'd be running down to the studio, dropping stuff or whatever, running back to the office, just running around like, but yeah, learned so much at Psycho actually, because they're a label where a lot of the acts come straight from a show. I think only two acts on the roster were not from the show, but yeah, that was my first in. And it was intense.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on at the label at the time. But yeah, it was a great place to start.
How did you land that? Like, how did you
So-
approach them?
No, they approached me, and then I was at uni, and there was a lady there, and she just hit me up and was like, "There's this A&R internship role at Psycho. Do you want to interview for it?" Did the interview, went
Smashed it.
amazingly, yeah, and then started within but I was a bit worried because I was writing my dissertation whilst I was working
Hectic
there.
times.
So I switched it. So initially I was doing it on like busking or something in London, and then I was like, wait, I'm here Monday to Friday. Why don't I just base it on what I'm doing to make my
course.
life easier?
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, I didn't even finish the dissertation. I was 3,000 words under.
Oh, damn.
I didn't have time to finish it. But I still got a what do you call it? A first? No, I didn't get a first. I got a 2-1.
Okay.
I managed to do it. I have no idea how, because all of my other work was like leveled it out. But yeah, wrote my dissertation, was staying in the office till like 11 at night, writing it. Like, so yeah, it was my first experience in music was a lot. It was a bit amazing at the same time.
Of course, yeah, amazing. Same question to you, Shenice. Like, what was like the deciding factor that you knew that you wanted to kind of go into this creative industry?
See, since I was young, I always knew how much I loved music, but I couldn't rap, I couldn't sing. So I was like, what jobs are behind the scenes? Because I think, especially for nowadays, my job I don't think was around like 5-10 years ago. So it wouldn't be like, okay, I want to be an artist relations manager, or I want to work at a DSP or whatever. So when I was younger, I have a lot of siblings. I've got 9 siblings all together. Yeah.
Who's the favourite? You?
Obviously.
Are you young? Old? Are you in the middle?
On my mum's side, I'm the second youngest. On my dad's side, I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not a middle child. I'm not. Anyways, that's a whole nother day. Yeah, but basically, my sisters and my brothers all used to listen to a lot of music, like MTV bass and everything, and I was like, this is so cool. And obviously, with the days of LimeWire, I used to be the one to be like, here's some new music, here's this new artist. And I remember ages ago finding Drake on MySpace. And I was like, this guy's going to be huge one day, and being like to my friends, let's go to his gig. But it was £5 in Hammersmith, and no one wanted to go with me.
Did you go?
I ended up going with my younger brother's friend, because he was the only people that actually knew about Drake at that time. And I was like, okay, this is something that I really like enjoy, like finding these new people. I tried everything, tried to do a blog. Hopefully no one can ever find it, but tried to do a blog. Absolutely not telling you. I tried everything. There's this thing called the Guest List Network, so I worked there for a little bit trying to do work experience. And then one of my best friends, Chris, was like, Sony, I got an internship. And I was like, what? And I didn't even think to check Sony's website. I applied for it. I think I did like 8 interviews.
Wow.
Because the process with the Sony
the
thing
process
is
for the
like,
Sony
it's
interview
intense.
is like the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole day. You got to do a presentation,
everything, because there's so many, like there's Psycho, there's RCA, there's Columbia, there's Black Butter, so there's all these labels. And then on my my last interview, they were like, I don't think you should do digital marketing. You should do marketing because your personality and stuff. And I was like, okay. So the next day I went to Columbia, did the interview, and then the next day they called me and said, you got the internship. So I did the internship at Sony or at Columbia for 2.5 years, which I got to work on the likes of like Harry Styles, George Ezra, but also like Rick Ross and 21 Savage. So it was just like
a whole bag, mixed bag.
It was great. Even worked like Depeche Mode, like certain things that when people see me now, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I worked on all those things. That's kind of how it worked for me, which was really lucky, to be honest.
That is like the most ideal introduction, like to the industry. Like, I feel like it's like a picture perfect thing. Obviously, how you explain it is like super inspirational. Was there any like kind of problems like along that way, or did it quite go smoothly?
No, the thing is, at Columbia, I had a really great support system. So I had a lot of women managers. Okay. So I think all my managers actually have always been at least one woman. Amazing. One woman, which is great. So it was hard, and especially being like a black woman as well in this industry, there's not a lot of us. So it was like, okay, who do I talk to about certain things? And some things you might not even know are issues or being flagged as like microaggressions because you're the only person in there. So you're like, oh, this is just normal. So those conversations didn't really happen, but I knew in the back of my mind, this is not okay with certain things. But I think the problems were there, but I kind of lean a lot on God and prayer and stuff. So like certain things you have to go through, and then you go to the other side and you're like, okay, do you know what? That happened because this needed to happen.
Absolutely. It's a learning as well, right?
It's learning, yeah. And I think that's
you for other things.
100%. I think community is super key. Like I met my best friend at Columbia, which is like, now we are like, okay, this used to happen, that used to happen, and kind of understanding those things. So I think it kind of depends on like where you are, but everyone has problems like
absolutely
in life. So
absolutely, it's so nice when you get to like reflect on it all and realize the like triumphs that you've been through, and then fully like take in everything that you've like accomplished and everything like that. I love that. It's amazing. Thank you for telling us that.
No, thank you.
I was about to call you Leanne for a second then.
Don't do that to me.
Sairah, same question to you. When was the time, what was going through your head, like when you first decided to again like start the business that you was running for events and stuff like that, and then going into the artist management?
So me and my best friend founded an events company in 2015 it was, and the biggest client we had was Little Mix. Like we used to do all that, their parties, like so their like album launches, their single launches, so that was kind of like my intro into like working within the creative industries as such. But obviously at a distance. So it was obviously when an event was going on as opposed to like, you know, within it. And then obviously Little Mix continued to have a massive career. And then it got to the point where they all decided they wanted to go on a break. And then obviously me and Leanne spoke, and she was always like, I want you to be my manager when the time is right, like when we're actually going to step out and do our own things.
I love that though. Sisters.
Yeah, like
Proper.
it was always going to be the thing. But obviously at the time I was like, yeah, I was doing my 9 to 5. Like I was in the housing sector at the time, like doing my business at the side and working full time. And I remember I was sitting at my laptop one day and she called me and she's like, right, you're going to have to leave your job now because things are getting busy. There's so much going on. Like I was like trying to help her with a documentary while doing this full-time job, while doing the events company, while raising children. Like, and then literally get my notice in. No experience in music, didn't know how we were gonna do it or where. It was just like, I know I'm gonna manage you better than anyone else. Like I'm just gonna leave my job and just jump into this whole other industry that I have no idea about. Literally did it. And then I think what's been nice, we're both on a journey together, because if you imagine, she's been in an industry with other girls her whole life within a group, and then now she's finding herself.
From quite young as well.
Yeah, like she's finding herself. And then I fell pregnant shortly after she was pregnant. So then we went into that situation together as well. And yeah, everything's kind of just flowed really nicely. So
absolutely. That's amazing. Yeah. It's nice that you got to share like motherhood together as well.
Yeah, like it's mad. Like we're on this work journey plus being mums. Like we went to Mexico to do like a writing camp, and we were both like pregnant, and it was just like, how are we in Mexico doing this pregnant together? Like it was just mad.
It's the perfect combination. I'm not mad.
Yeah. What a dream though. Yeah. Like it's such a nice like situation to just be like fully enjoying life and about to step into such a new space and everything like that. That's amazing, honestly. And like hearing all of like your different introductions to this is like so inspiring. So a question I did have, like, what advice would you give to someone just starting out their career? Marissa? I'm gonna keep going down this way, by the way.
My advice would be find something that you're really passionate about. Like be passionate. Never take no for an answer. Absolutely. That's what I live by. If you really believe in yourself, or you believe in a project, you believe in an artist, never take no for an answer. And also, like, don't get beat down, because I know getting into the music industry is difficult. I have a lot of people who ask me all the time, how do I do it? And it's not just going to happen like that. You're not going to find your perfect internship or whatever straight away.
You're not always going to get yes.
But just don't let that set you back, and just believe in yourself. Don't let it get you down if you're not getting a job like straight away, just like that. Like I have a friend at the moment looking for a job, and she's actually just got a job, but she was getting really down about it, and I was like, just keep going, you'll get a job. And look, she got an amazing job literally like last week. So
amazing.
Yeah, that would be my advice.
Keep pushing on. Absolutely. I actually want to ask you that question too. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start doing what you're doing?
I think I would say no job is too big or too small. I think you've got to build it from the ground up. Like, I think it allows you to appreciate it more once you do get into the spaces. Yeah. And I think it's just about networking as well. I think you've got to communicate, talk to people. I think, just going by my journey as well, I think they're like proper two main key pillars within mine as well. And I think it's just about finding your purpose, like what you were saying and what you're doing. Like I think when you're really passionate about something and you care about it, like nothing can get in your way. Do you get what I mean? I'm very much a person like, well, we're going to do this. I'll apologise about it later.
But I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
When it bangs, everybody's going to be like, this is great. But I'm like, sometimes you just know it in your gut and in your heart. And you have to just do it. Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
That's how I work, to be honest. I just love what I do. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it.
Some people don't see the vision. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it. But like, look at Kanye, for example, a visionary. It's like, there's so many things I'd imagine that people have said, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he's like, what? I'm going to show you.
Time and time again.
I treat it like a little fire in my belly. I'm like, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong.
You saw it on Netflix, right? His,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Incredible.
The Yay documentary you talk about.
Yeah.
Absolute
Amazing.
genius.
This guy,
So right?
Kanye, ridiculous. He's an alien. It's
100%.
like crazy.
Incredible.
The scene where
Crazy.
he's at Rock Nation and he's literally
Yes.
rapping to that woman. Did you see it?
Yeah, and she's like,
yeah, she's typing away like.
is she not even looking at him?
No,
I thought she
I thought he was playing Juice and
literally,
Yeah,
the
it's
regret.
crazy. Do you know how that also is like, if you are an artist, right? Video everything. Everything. Video it all.
Yeah.
I bet so many artists like around that same time was just thinking like, why didn't I do that? Like, why didn't I?
But the thing is, Kanye's journey is like, after seeing that documentary, is crazy.
You appreciate him a lot more, right?
Oh, honestly, I always did. But yeah, after seeing that, I was like,
Yeah.
Like true hustle,
Proper.
real hustle. So the same question to you, Shenice. What advice would you give to someone starting out that wants to go down the same route as you?
I think the same with these two said. Obviously, like, don't give up. Kind of write down exactly your like 1 year plan, your 5 year plan, your 3 year plan. So I think sometimes when you write things down, then you can be like, oh, okay, these are the steps I need to do this. I always have a vision board as well. So like, just think about, this is why I want to visit this place, or this is the person I want to talk to. Networking, people don't understand how people say to me, oh, the people that you know, like your connections are like worth so much. I know, like, what is like, if you know this person, you introduce that person, that can happen, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realise until
You
I
never
got
know
to...
who's saying your name in a room for an opportunity. And
Exactly. So you have to, because that's how I kind of got my job at YouTube, because a couple of people put my name forward and then they reached out.
Amazing.
So it's like, always work hard, even when it's a struggle. Just keep doing it. LinkedIn is like Instagram for work. Like, post, hit up people. We have access to all like the music labels now. See who works in the different departments and just drop them a DM or whatever. Be like, hey, I just want 20 minutes with you to talk about how you got into it. Do work experience. So I think it's like just using it and don't be scared, I think.
do you think people of that position are more like open to talking back to people who would send those emails?
100%. Everyone's super busy though. Like, sometimes I get loads of DMs and I'm like, I really want to get back to you or try and find some time. But like right now, music, I think it's like 8,000. I don't even know. I think it's like 8,000 songs get uploaded every day. And think about all those artists that we have to try and like work with, etc. So it's quite hard. But if you keep trying, the person will reply at some point. Persistence is so key. So that would be my advice, I think.
Amazing. Thank you. Same question to you, but I'm going to word it a little bit differently. As you transition from the creative job into, say, the creative job, like from the corporate job into the creative job, what advice would you give to someone who is kind of wants to transition from that as well?
I'd say it's never too late, because I think sometimes, especially women, like we kind of like tell ourselves we're too old to do something.
Yep.
And I transitioned into a new career, basically at like a junior level, when I was 31. Whereas at that time, like people might already be like really established in their careers, or, you know, like and obviously I was kind of starting at the beginning again.
Yeah.
If I would have looked like forward like 10 years ago, I would have thought I would have transitioned. I would probably have stayed in my industry and worked my way up. But as you get older, you see more. Like, I just felt like there's more to life than being in this job that I don't enjoy.
You
like,
want more, right?
Yeah, you want more. And I feel like when I was younger, I probably wasn't as ambitious as I am now. Like, I'm more ambitious now. So I just say, like, never feel like you're on a time. Like, do it when like, there's always opportunities. Like, don't ever feel like your age can affect what you want in life. Like, always just go for it. And there's nothing wrong with going, like, say, like taking a step back. It may seem like a step back because you're starting at a different level, but long term, you'd rather get up every day and enjoy your job.
100%.
So, and not everyone can do that. Like, I never used to do that. I used to wake up and be like, I hate my job.
Yes.
Meanwhile, my sister's like touring the world, living her life. And I'd be like, God, I wish I could do that.
It's so normalized as well to hate your job.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, and it's like generations and generations of just like, well, yeah, but I had to work and I had to sacrifice all my dreams to have you. And it's just like, I just think it just needs to stop. You need to like go and pursue what you want to do.
It also makes us realise how lucky we are.
Absolutely.
So lucky.
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
We are,
blessed.
honestly.
So spoiled.
Truly.
Honestly.
It's so true. You know, adding on to what you said, having children as well as, you know, doing the job that you do, like what what's that like?
So obviously I had my oldest son when I was 22. So my job then was like a 9 to 5. So, you know, I was more or less in a routine. Since having my youngest, who's now 18 months, things are obviously picking up for Leanne. So now it's almost like, oh, how do people like in this industry have children? Like, and I meet many women in this industry that don't have children, and now I get why. Like, it's so hard to like, you're not on a 9 to 5, like the hours are endless, the traveling as well. It's always like, and obviously where Leanne as well has twins and she obviously needs childcare too, mum's always like nipped by her. So I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
who's gonna help me then?
Yeah. Like
So,
mummy daycare.
It is hard, but I wouldn't change it because at the end of the day, my kids know that I work really hard for them. And if I'm not at home, it's because everything I do is for them. And, you know, I like the fact that they see me getting up, working hard, the hustle. It's teaching them that nothing's going to come easy. Like, you know, the things that we have is because I work really hard. And growing up, I hope they can obviously adapt that. Like, they're not going to get anything just by sitting down and, you know, not working hard for it.
Just like off the back of what you're saying, I don't know if you also feel like this, but obviously our jobs are so intense, so busy, takes up our lives, right?
All of it.
At the moment, I'm like, am I sacrificing my job sacrificing having children for my job? Because I'm like, when am I going to have time to have children and look after them? Even meeting someone, it's just like,
I don't think there's ever a time.
Yeah.
There's no, as women, we put a time to have children. There isn't a time.
There's pressure.
Yeah, there's no
It's
time.
like, oh my
it just
God,
has
I'm getting
to happen.
older.
Like,
I'm getting older, but I love my job. I need to have money. I need to do this. But then I'm like, oh, but do I focus more on wanting to be a mum? Like, can I do both? Which I'm
just priorities.
Yeah, what is I mean, at the moment, my job is my priority, but that could change tomorrow. I could meet someone and then boom. But that's what I think about it like every day.
I think meeting someone's the hard part.
Yeah.
In
The
this day and
child
age.
part's not the hard part. It's meeting someone and like wanting to stay with them and like that's the hard part. Like,
Meeting someone you like enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
And someone that's not intimidated by a strong woman that knows what she wants, that's in her career, that you know, they've got to kind of work around you. And like I feel like that's quite intimidating for some men. So that's the hard part.
Yeah, sure.
It's so true. It's so true. It's nice to hear like that actually being spoken about, because I feel like I don't hear it enough as well. Like I want to know more about that, even like the dating scene as do you know
That's another podcast.
Exactly. It's an endless story. I feel like it 100% is. Something I did want to get into, Shenice, a question for you. I saw that you've been to the Brits and you've been to the MOBOs. What's that like to like go and be invited and enjoy it?
Do you know what? It's amazing, especially because like I used to watch all these things when I was younger, never thinking I'd actually attend. It's really nice. I think it's crazy. I think, like we were saying before, we're quite spoiled. Yeah. Because sometimes we get invites to everything now. You're like, oh, I don't want to go to this or I don't want to go to that. But it's like...
And they're like, oh, I've got this event to go to.
And you're like, oh, I have to go and find a
and then
dress.
you're like, actually, why am I
And it's
acting
always
like that?
midweek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned that.
I know. At least Brits is on a Saturday this year.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it was good or bad because like...
It was good.
it was good. But I remember being at Sony and not ever going to the Brits. I went to the Brits when I started at uni. But everyone coming in the next day and being like, oh, what happened?
Yeah.
This year everyone was just like, we're at home. People have gone to church to repent. Yeah. But it's amazing because I think a lot of the artists I get to work with or at the MOBOs or at Brits, like, it was amazing to see Flo perform at MOBOs, especially with like everything that's going with them at the moment. I think it's exciting and I think it's nice. I think now there's more like categories that cater to like black music and culture.
Absolutely.
So obviously it's a slow journey, but it's happening. So it's really nice to see those things. So I love it.
And like getting the recognition that they absolutely deserve.
Exactly.
At the level, you know, I mean, at the height that you know, let's say overseas in America where they have like Tonys and they have, you know, Academy Award over there, or is it here?
Awards. Yeah.
It's over there, yeah. And
Grammys and everything.
Yeah, like it's a big, it's black tie event and everything like that. Like I feel like it's so nice to bring that over here and do it at the MOBOs for the community.
100%.
It's amazing.
And I think UK music's in a whole completely different space. Before I think it was like you need to break America for you to be a global superstar, and it's not that anymore. But like we have our own scene, we support our artists, which is great. Exactly. I don't know if that was always the case, but I think in the last like 5 years you're really seeing UK people being championed by UK people, which is exciting.
It is, it really is. How was both of your like experiences at the Mobo? Have you been to the Mobos?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
I
was
went for
that?
the first- Oh my God, I had an amazing time. It's so fun.
It is fun.
Beanie Man.
Beanie Man
Yeah, that was
great.
lit. That was very lit.
When he came out, oh my God, I was up. No, it was wicked. Like, I watched the Mobos growing up.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing and sick to just be there and see everyone, see the performances, see Flo. I'm a massive Flo fan. But yeah, it's just wicked. I don't realise how lucky I am.
We are, you know, for real.
Yeah,
Like 100%.
Yeah, it was wicked.
Did you attend the Mobos?
I didn't attend, but I went to Mo's after party.
I heard that was fantastic.
Rain, if you sponsor.
Thanks for the invite.
Wait, the Brit after party or the Mobos one?
No, the Brit after party.
I heard that was insane.
Was it?
It was
Yeah.
good. They was doing big up Mo in the dance battle. Yeah, him and America Foster. They was getting down like battling like this was You Got Served.
Oh my God, I need to see video evidence.
No, it was intense. It was really good. I think, again, like what you guys are saying, it's like, you know, growing up and then watching all of these people on TV and actually getting to be at these spaces. Like, even like when I'm like chilling with my mum and I'm like, oh yeah, we worked with that person. Yeah, we worked on that campaign. She's like, what? But you don't realise like how big of a deal it is. And even with my friends, they're like, oh my days, I can't believe that you did that. And to us, it's like, yeah, it's normal.
Still another day in the office.
It's a normal day, but it's like, I think like your peer group and your friends around you, they're like, yo, you're doing bits.
I think it's hard
absolutely.
when you're in the moment to like really realise.
Yeah.
Like I went to LA 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been to LA a few times, but I was landing and I was like, oh my, this is
You're
LA.
in LA. Yeah.
As long as you have those little moments where you like,
They like pinch me moments.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to constantly be like, oh my God, what I'm doing is amazing. Because you feel that way, but it's like hard because you're doing it as part of your life. It's just like built within you that like that's what you do. But it's really important to just take little moments to say, do you know what? I'm lucky, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Absolutely. So the last question I have to, because it is coming up to our time.
Already?
oh my God.
Already, yeah, it is. I know. I feel like we need
I'll
to
do it like, oh my God, the cameras are rolling, the cameras are rolling.
It's like we've been
I know, we can do this all day.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, we need a part 2. Okay,
You're
part
gonna see,
2's
you're
coming
gonna,
there.
you're gonna see Marissa with her own podcast. Like, hey guys.
Yeah. So my final question, just to wrap everything up, would be. See, now it's gone completely out of my head. No, it's fine. It's absolutely
They're not
fine.
ready to wrap yet. Two more questions.
So my question to you all is, being a woman in this industry, has there been any difficulty or any awkwardness or any, like, you know, I hate to use the word, but like discrimination in your journey thus far? I'll start with you, Rafa.
Okay. I wouldn't say discrimination. I would say more, I think with guys, like it's pretty much, I don't know if you guys would agree, it's kind of like a boys' club when you're coming into it.
Yeah.
Right? Until obviously you meet these lovely ladies and it's like you all kind of come together. But I feel like I've experienced like, I wouldn't say chauvinistic. I'm trying to be nice about it.
Yeah, don't be nice now.
You don't have to be nice.
International Women's
Tell them
Month.
what it is. It's trying to like articulate it in such a polite way without naming and shaming. But I have experienced like on my journey, like a guy kind of, this is kind of early in my journey. So getting into it, you know, working on ideas and whatever, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's like they took it as like, I wanted to like date them. And I'm like, no, like, but that was never a conversation. I'm like,
It was
hun,
implied.
yeah, I'm not going to give her the good goods for the kind of wrong genitalia as well. I'm not going to lie. I have
Even
experienced
that, like they don't even think about things
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like they, you know, like you're getting on with a guy and it's like you're bouncing great ideas and it's like, I have kind of experienced that. I'm not going to say it made me feel intimidated, but I was a bit like, rah, they're not lying, you know. This is a real thing. Like when, I saw an interview with Ashanti and she was speaking about an incident that happened with her. I'm not going to mention it.
Absolutely.
Where
It's mixtape man. You can do what you want.
I wasn't sure. Where a guy had kind of basically said, it was around a record, right, I think, like for her to kind of get the record that she had to, you know, do. And I'm like, why is that normal? Like, why is that okay? Furthermore, when you don't have kids and you don't have daughters, if a next man's doing that to you, you're not ready to hunt them down. Like, it's weird to me.
It completely flips when it's you and it's your personal life.
And it's them just like throwing their weight around and stuff like that. But I feel like that's only like once has ever happened. And I feel like it's kind of like how you come out of it the other side. So I kind of was like, okay, so this is actually a real thing. So you just have to stay woke, you know? But it's just, I think
like
that's,
once it happens the first time, it's enough for you to realise like, rah, like this is real.
Yeah, they're gonna like just try a thing. And it's just, it's something that where, as women, we're not willing to accept. It's not okay. Do you get what I mean? And this is my personal space. I don't need you grabbing on me in any type of way. So, it's not going to happen. But that was my experience.
Yeah.
Top line.
Yeah. Marissa, I'll go to you.
Yeah, I've had multiple experiences. But I would say working at Sony, like, I felt like I didn't feel any discrimination whatsoever. I felt really supported, but transitioning into a manager and being like a lone wolf and broadening my network and having to speak with presidents of labels, I've definitely felt like I was being spoken to differently because of my gender, it felt. So there have been many conversations and situations where I have felt
Like a little belittled or?
Dismissed, multiple times, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Makes you more resilient though.
I was literally just to say that, it just makes you stronger. But also like at the moment, I'm really lucky to have amazing men in music around me who support me.
Absolutely.
And make me feel great. So also want to shout them out because they're like, I have sick men around me, man. Like the people I work with, like they're like proper real people, amazing people. But there are others who aren't.
This is the way of the game, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Like it's sad because to me it's just normal. Not normal.
Like normalised?
Normalised. And I just get on with it. It's great that we can have these conversations, but I just get on with it and I'm like, cool, speak to me like that, but I'm going to do my job better than you do your job, so bye. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, loads of times, but I'm just getting on with it. I'm just like, cool, whatever.
100%. Shenice, same question.
This is a really good question. I think it's definitely happened, and I think I've just had a blind eye to it. Yeah. So I'm like, this is the music industry. People always say there's all these bad things happen.
So you kind of assumed it.
It just, you assume that, you're like, okay, this is how I'm going to deal with it. But I think a lot of the time I have a lot of really great men as well around, especially starting out in the industry. You're just like, this is a whole new world to navigate.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
It's so crazy. So I think the power of allies and mentors is so important. People might think, oh, you need them because this industry could
cutthroat,
chew you alive.
I'm telling you, it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. And I think again, there's some men that will throw their weight around if they've been in the industry for a long time and be like, oh, so you're the new kid on the block, you need to kind
and they think they know better, right?
They think they know better, and you're like, okay, cool.
And they think we're stupid.
Yeah,
and we ain't.
No, it's like,
and when Khadija will come up with fresh ideas, you know,
exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I think it's just owning those spaces as well, and like, don't put up with any shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, sorry, but don't put up with any shit.
Oh, you
because,
can swear, don't worry about it.
We can.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I know Marissa's just been like,
You know how many times
a little bit earlier,
but I haven't.
yeah, but then, like, don't put up with anything, and actually don't be scared. If something does happen, say it. So I think a lot of the time people are a bit like, oh, this guy's done this or that guy's done that.
No, name and shame.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're doing an amazing job and you shouldn't feel scared to go into work or feel a certain way and own those spaces, because a lot of us, especially like black women, we're in these spaces, not a lot of us, so we need to make sure that our voice is heard and present, even if it might feel scary or people trying to intimidate you. You have to make sure that you know that your voice is very, very valuable and that it's not something that you should be like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to say this because a man might feel like I'm overstepping.
With that, right? Have you ever felt like, you know, like sometimes when you do speak up, you're already labelled as like the black woman, the angry black woman.
I've been, honestly, there have been situations where I'm being called aggressive. Why are you shouting at me?
These some jokes, he could be like the same
I'm scared of you, Marissa.
Yeah.
No one.
Swear on my life.
Somebody said that they were scared.
On my life.
Oh,
someone said to me, I'm scared.
But I feel
Or
like
something around that. Just for me calling up and asking you a question. But I'm shouting and I'm aggressive. I'm just assertive.
But this is what I think, like, everything that happened with Black Lives Matter was really important, because a lot of people didn't know about microaggressions and you saying certain things, or like, if I change my hair, doesn't mean you have to comment every single time.
Little Susan in the office. Oh, I like what you've done, hon. It's a bit more up.
What have you done to your hair?
What's that then?
Dyed your hair. All of a sudden, it's longer.
But like, no, literally all of those things, I think it's like there's a lot of more education now. So I think men or other women, etc., know how to kind of maneuver in the workplace. Things can't just happen now, which is great, but also shouldn't have been happening in the first place.
100%.
But everything's a journey. So
Absolutely.
that's what I would
it's all
say.
growing.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Same question to you, Sairah.
I kind of knew like a bit about how women are treated in the industry before I kind of took on the role. And I'll be honest, I haven't experienced anything myself. But also, if you think of my position, I'm Leanne's sister, and Leanne's been in this industry for a very long time. So she's very headstrong. Like, she walks in a room and she says exactly what she wants. So people may think twice about saying certain things to me because I'm her sister. If I wasn't her sister and I was maybe like, you know, a manager that wasn't related to her, I might be, you know, spoken to differently. But I'll be honest, everyone that I've worked with so far, they've been so supportive. Like, we have such a good team around us. Mixture of men and women, and I can't fault anyone so far. And obviously, me not being experienced in certain things, they're all there to really help and to support me. And sometimes as well, like when I first started, I'll be like, oh, should I like jump in and speak my idea? Because one thing about me, and this is probably where it stemmed from me wanting to be Leanne's manager and Leanne wanting me to be, I've always had ideas. Like, even back in the day when she'd be like, right, we're doing a video and this is my section, what should I do? And I'd be like, right, do this and do that. Like, it's always been where I like, I love to be doing that. So I'll be sitting in the room and everyone's like saying ideas, and like I'll say what I think, and everyone's like, yeah, like, and that's really nice, because I've, you know, not having music experience and feeling like you can't open your mouth, like I've never really experienced that. But hopefully that's not because I'm her sister and they're scared. It's more just because
you got
people
ideas.
I'm working around, you know, they're all
When
really
I first started, oh my God, I never used to say a word. In meetings,
I'm
you know, like in those big boardrooms, I used to be so
Mm.
scared to say anything. And then there was one day where I just said it and everyone's like, oh, that's really good idea. And then it's just built my confidence. But it's scary. It's really scary.
Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you all and to learn more about you and your journeys, and to have that advice, you know, given out, because I'm hoping like that even if it helps one girl out there that wants the advice and doesn't know exactly how to get it, or doesn't have like a personal link to get it, like this can really, really be that resource. And everything you said is just amazing for that. So honestly, thank you all.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me. I've had
coming
so
on.
much fun.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for being great hosts.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that is our time. We are now signing out. Again, thank you for Mixtape. Oh yes, thanks for Mixtape, but also thank you Mixtape for supporting this podcast and pushing it. And it has been an absolute pleasure to bring this to you, as well as bringing all of these women to you too. Please follow, like, share, subscribe, send to your nan, send to your mum, send to your aunt, uncle, friend, family, cat, dog, everything. And we shall see you on the next episode.